I think that music can influence where people go in their minds because I think, for example, just like how let's say there's a male and a female dancer, like they have different energy, they have a different sort of feeling that they give off, and it's sort of the same thing with kind of songs. Like obviously there's songs that like the women singers sing that are very like feminine and talk about beauty or talk about like being attractive, and there's certain like angles that they take that are obviously very feminine. And if you think about rock with guys, there's obviously angles they take, especially if it's like the more niche forms of rock that are like the metal or this or that. They take very masculine angles that have to do with kind of like strength, that have to do with almost like battle and stuff like that. Just different images and different feelings that are sort of that come from that. And so I think, for example, if let's say a young person listens to a lot of that music, it's not just about listening to a particular song, but it kind of also is. It's about like where you go in your mind with that song. So I think, for example, if from a young age, a young person kind of like keeps listening to that music, and within the experience of that music, they go down like avenues that are opposite to who they are. So like if it's a young guy, right, he keeps listening to feminine songs, but he goes down like really far down that path. What I mean by far down that path is if you've ever been on the radio and you hear a song and you turn it off because you don't want to go into that song and go into those emotions and get sucked into them. But imagine if someone kept going into them instead of turning it off. They kept getting sucked into it. They kept going down that path. I think it would really change their emotions over time. And I think that's one thing that can explain like a lot of the gender identity stuff. I don't think it's 100%. I don't think it's really completely natural. Now, some people say, hey, I felt this way since I was extremely young. I still think there's a question, though, of like, let's say, even if you were born into feeling that way, like, it's interesting because what creates the predisposition? Is it necessarily like genetics, or is genetics just a piece of the picture? Because there's this idea in Hinduism that like the character of the mother, like the personality, the emotions she experiences, everything, they have to do with like what she's imparting on the baby. Like as if the mom is like the field of emotions and feelings we feel. And the baby is like coming into that field, through the mother. So if the mother maybe has something that would do that, maybe that's what causes that also.